Have you ever tried to back a trailer onto a boat ramp with 100 people watching and waiting? It's a terrible feeling. Let me show you on the ground the things you've got to get in your head and into your hands before you can back up a trailer. And then we'll cut away to a drone shot so you can watch all this happening from the sky and get the context of how the trailer actually interacts. And the first thing is, you've got to stop thinking, you've got to look over your shoulder to know where you're going. You trust your mirrors, and you get in the habit of leaning forward and back to maximize your field of view. Between 3 mirrors, right, left, and center, you're going to see anything that's back there that's going to disappoint you if you run into it, besides the fact that you saw it all when you pulled ahead. So you're continuing to monitor, left, right, and center. You're leaning forward to see down where your wheels are making contact, and you learn to trust that. Practice that long before you're ever hooked to a trailer. One thing's for sure, you can't back up a trailer if you can't back up your car. So the first thing you need to do is start practicing backing up without a trailer. It's intuitive that your vehicle moves in the direction that you're turning your tires, right? Sort of. It's absolutely 180 degrees backwards from that when you put a trailer on. It moves in the opposite direction from the direction you're moving your tires. Think of it this way. If you put your hand at the bottom of your steering wheel, the direction you move the bottom of your steering wheel is the direction the back of the trailer will move. Takeaway is, learn to use your mirrors and learn to use your brain. So in general, the first rule is swing wide when you're turning around a corner head first. And then when you're backing up, make it as long and gentle an approach to the hard bend as you can. So I make the bend, the trailer follows me in, and then to make it back out the way that I can. Okay, that's pretty easy actually. So this is a very easy turnaround. I can get completely straight. I have lots of room, and I orient my tires in the direction I want the truck to go before I begin to back up at all. So that the minute that I begin to back up, I begin to get the advantage of the angle, and I don't have to wait to spin the wheel as I'm backing up. It's always easier to back up towards the driver's side instead of towards your off side, just because you have more latitude in what the mirror is showing you. So once you're straight, you begin to follow it. And the rule is, as soon as the trailer begins to respond to what you're asking it to do, you begin to soften your instruction so that it doesn't over. I back up and I orient myself, and then in the last 2 or 3 feet, I swing the front of the truck in the direction that I want it to be going when I begin to move forward. I stop and I turn the wheels so as soon as I begin to move, the truck moves in the direction it needs to do to help the trailer. I'm going to swing out and make another 3-point turn into the yard. It's going to be tighter. So I move forward and then begin to orient the trailer in that direction by swinging my truck so that the bending of the trailer at the hitch begins to happen. And then I turn those wheels so as soon as I back up, it is obeying the impulse to turn. And then I approach the gate from as long an angle as I can, generally. Keeping in mind that as you correct from the turn itself, you have to have room for the front of the truck to clear whatever it is. Boy, I cut that pretty close. Now I know there's a truck back in there that I can't see, so I'm going to call that good and begin to pull out the other way. And it's the same thing. I make a long, hard bend to the right. As the trailer begins to straighten up, I turn my truck the other way so the trailer angle begins to define itself before I stop. I turn the wheels to exaggerate that angle as soon as I begin to move back. And as soon as the trailer begins to comply, I soften the instruction. You don't have to scream at your trailer. You just encourage it. And you go slowly until you like it, keeping in mind that a slight correction is early is way better than a severe correction late. I'm going to do the same thing that we started with. I'm going to swing wide. Usually the act of swinging wide, if you can, sets you up for a nice, straight, reverse move. The trailer easily lines up. Turn the wheels. Right back along the edge of the parking lot. And then to exaggerate the principle, I'm going to actually turn the trailer the way I don't need it to go in order to begin to create the arc of going forward. I'm going to make this a little tougher this time. Swing left, turn right, begin to back up, and then begin to straighten. Gave it a pretty hard instruction. Don't want a jackknife. Got a visual on everything. There's never or rarely any reason to look over your shoulder as long as you got mirrors. Okay, it's behaving just right. Now I'm going to back it on out into that yard. Oh, so easy. Orient a little bit to the left. Straight out into the turnaround. Swing to the right to get the trailer backing out the way it needs to be. At the last second, hard crank to the left. When you're stopped, crank the wheels back to the right. And now the moment you back up, the trailer begins to respond. So my rule of correcting at the last second is moot because the trailer is lined up straight back. The last second, just out of habit, do that, recompensate. Now it's oh so easy to pull on out. And there's really nothing more to it than that. Thanks for watching Essential Craftsman. Go slow and keep up the good work.